My name's Mike Leary. I'm filling in for Mike Main, the chairperson, and welcome to the October 7th, 2024 Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. Tonight, there's two cases that are going to be continued because it's obvious we only have 3 members. So I'm going to have Ed read in the 2 continuances, one at a time. We'll vote them on.
Okay, so
4135.
it doesn't say the job number, but it's from Grady Consulting, so I'm going to assume that's 4135.
Question, should the official
No,
thing
we
be
don't
read
need,
first, or can we continue
no, because
without
we're
having to read the first?
not going to hear any testimony.
Okay.
So this relates to case
Yeah.
4135, Dana Anderson? No number.
This one, yes, this is 4135, and this one is the Cherry Street, and that's I'm sorry, I didn't write it on there.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
well, this one,
All right, so in relation to case 40135, hi Denise. On behalf of the applicant, we would like to request a continuance for the ZBA special permit application for 26 Shore Drive, Plymouth, the next available ZBA hearing. As we discussed on the phone, we will be able to attend the October 21st hearing if that date is still available. Thank you, Rob Carzon, Grady Consulting, LLC.
Okay, do I hear a motion on that?
I will make a motion to continue case number 4135 to October 21st at 7 p.m.
I hear a second.
Sure.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Okay, that passes. And will you read the next one?
Sure. Case number 4136, Stephen and Vance Almeida, 227 Cherry Street Investments. Dear Chairman Maine, please note that I represent 227 Cherry Street Investments, LLC, Cherry. Concerning the above referenced project, the purpose of the letter is to request the Zoning Board of Appeals continue our private hearing, currently scheduled for October 7th, 2024 to October 21st, 2024. The reason for the continuance request is twofold. Firstly, Cherry is still working to address DPW contents that we received on September 23rd, 2023, and we will not have a second memo from the DPW by October 7th, so all comments are still outstanding, unsatisfied. Secondly, I understand there will only be 4 ZBA members available to be seated October 7th, 2024. My client would prefer to have a full board considering on this matter. Please kindly advise if you would like me to present this continuous request in person, or this letter will suffice. As always, should you have any questions or require any additional information, do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you for your assistance and cooperation. Sincerely, Rob D'Ambrosia, Esquire, for the petitioner.
Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I will make a motion to continue case 4136 to
Yeah.
October 21st at 7 p.m.
And a second? Okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, then we have two informal things. The Cannon Group down on the corner of South Street there in Court Street, or is that Sandwich there? It's Sandwich Street, Maryville. They brought back the plans to show the 4 parking spaces that we requested for employee parking. I don't think David was here, but, you know, and it is there, and that's all we were looking for. So, in my opinion, they've fulfilled it. Yours?
Yes, they fulfilled their condition.
And I will add that I was on the planning board when we reviewed it, so I know the case, and I also agree they have fulfilled the condition.
Okay, so, do I hear a motion on it?
Yeah, I would be pleased to make a motion to report and to recommend that under case 4123, the Canaan Realty Group, that they have satisfied condition 31.
In a second. Okay, all in favor? There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up is Bartlett Pond Estates. And could you state your name for the record? And
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Paul Cusson, Dolphic Associates. Our office is 651 Purchase Street in New Bedford, Mass. And we're here before you, we're representing our client, Manament Pond LLC, regarding a comprehensive permit that was issued by the Zoning Board of Appeals back in September of 2005. There have been several amendments to that comprehensive permit over the years, and what we are seeking is a couple of changes to the comprehensive permit, which we feel are insubstantial. The board has to make a determination whether it's insubstantial or substantial. And the change that we're requesting is that the lottery agent, which is presently Housing Assistance Corporation of Hyannis, be changed to our firm, Dolphic Associates LLC. We are a 40B firm that does a lot of permitting throughout the Commonwealth and do many housing lotteries and have been engaged by Manament Pond LLC to do that. And we also proceeded with the final approval that's required under the permit and provided Mass Housing with an affirmative fair housing marketing plan and a lottery plan. So we're asking for that change. And secondly, we're asking that the monitoring agent, which presently is the Barnstable Housing Authority, has been changed by Mass Housing already in the regulatory agreement that was executed, and the monitoring agent presently is not the Barnstable Housing Authority, is right, that's right, is the Hyannis Housing, HAC, the Housing Assistance Corporation of Hyannis, as the monitoring agent. So we ask that this board approve those changes as insubstantial.
Okay. Any questions from board members?
Sure. So the monitoring agent currently is the Barnstable Housing Authority, which is a government agency.
Say that again?
Is the Barnstable Housing Authority a government agency?
It's a state agency.
State agency, well, state government.
Yes.
Okay. Is the Hyannis Housing Assistance Corporation a state agency?
No. My understanding, they are a private agency. They do a lot of homeless housing. They do an awful lot for housing on Cape Cod, but they are a private agency.
So do they act on behalf of the state government? I mean, the monitoring should be a state government.
State governments do not do housing lotteries.
So why is the Barnstable Housing Authority currently doing it if they're not a state agency?
They are not an approved agency by Mass Housing, an approved lottery agency by Mass Housing. We used to do some stuff with Lori Fenton of the Barnstable Housing Authority, but they are no longer doing, they do a lot of Section 8 housing, a lot of different housing. They don't do housing lotteries.
So the housing lottery is different than the monitoring agent, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so,
What happens when we, if I may,
sure.
what happens is that as we go through the housing lottery and we get applications, we vet the applications, we go through a whole process, being sure that they qualify income-wise, asset-wise, and so forth. So once we make our determination that applicants are qualified, that information is submitted to the monitoring agent. The monitoring agency then provides a certificate of eligibility, which then goes on record at the time of sale of the affordable units.
So I understand that. I'm just wondering, because usually you have a monitoring agency being a government entity, a state government entity. Like, who's, the monitoring agency is supposed to
No, they're monitoring, Citizens Housing and Planning Association at times used to and still does and change from time to time, but they do monitoring as well. It's sort of unusual to have a state agency do monitoring. South Shore Housing Authority, which used to be called South Shore Housing Authority, now is Housing Assistance, does monitoring as well. And they're doing monitoring for several of our developments, but they're not a state agency either.
So it kind of sounds like no one's watching the hen house.
Two things. When we go through the process, the monitoring agent is responsible for certifying the certificate of eligibility. They are appointed by Mass Housing. So Mass Housing, if you will, is the one who's the monitoring agent and Mass Housing, but Mass Housing has more superior. They are sort of watching the hen house, if you will.
So has Mass
And
Housing...
they've issued the regulatory agreement.
So has Mass Housing authorized Housing Assistance Corporation of Hyannis to be the monitoring agent? Do you want me to say that again?
That's correct.
They have done that. So Mass Housing has authorized as the monitoring agent Housing Assistance Corporation of Hyannis.
Correct.
All right.
As the monitoring agent.
Yes. So do you have any type of document that says that?
It's attached to the regulatory agreement as an exhibit to your regulatory agreement.
So I don't have the regulatory agreement in front of me.
I think we submitted, on
Yeah, there's
October
that.
1st, we submitted a packet
So do we
which,
have that?
Yeah, it's,
which had a lot of documents attached to it.
All right, so as long as we have it, so we have the housing,
And you can see that it's also recorded at the Registry of Deeds, but it lists the Housing Assistance Corporation as the monitoring agent.
so I don't see that in my packet. Do you folks see, Michael and?
I have an extra copy if you'd like.
Sure.
This is the letter that you submitted along with several documents.
All I need to see is I just want to see that the Mass Housing's appointed Housing Assistance Corporation of Hyannis to be
This
it.
is the regulatory, so this is an attachment to the
All right.
regulatory.
So this is from Mass Housing?
Yes. Well, it's part of the regulatory agreement, it's issued.
While he's looking, a question, is the Barnstable Housing Authority still doing it? Have they gone out of business?
No, they're very much in business, but they're just not doing this.
doing lotteries.
Do lotteries and that sort of thing, that they're actually quite busy.
Yeah. I mean, we've,
And we've been engaged to do the lottery by the
All right. So this is fine. This is perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for.
Okay.
All right.
And
I'm good.
you should have a right.
I'm good.
Thank you.
seeing what's so informal, we're letting you come up here. Normally, we don't do that. David? Huh?
Oh, this one? Yes. So I haven't had a chance to review it because it's just given to me. So like, so,
It wasn't submitted till just recently,
Right.
and we have a
so
statutory
that's,
thing.
this is fine. I just got it. So,
So we ask that the board consider these changes as insubstantial and therefore approved.
And we've done this once
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, I would make that motion. I also note that, you know, our counsel, Carolyn Murray, also recommends this as an insubstantial change. So I make the motion to approve that this modification is insubstantial.
We'll hear a second.
Sure, I'll second it.
Okay, and vote? Approved. It's approved unanimously.
Thank you, Mr.
You're
Chairman.
all set. Okay, so is there any other business? I think that is actually going to wrap up our night. I'm waiting for Denise, but I guess that is going to happen.
Do you have any other business
You don't-
informally?
No. Denise, that wraps up the full... Yeah, okay, so I wait a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion to adjourn
I'll
meeting
se-
of October 7th.
I'll second it and...
I'll third it.
Okay, we're done.